Hello and welcome. I would like to expand on the concept of lying, being dishonest. This is something that earlier in my life seemed to be a very unconscious and normal thing. I would be dishonest about a lot of things that I deem to be white lies and things that I deem to be more important things that I was lying about, right? But ultimately it's all dishonesty, regardless of how you decide to view it and judge it. And as I look back on these things that I was dishonest about, ultimately they were me not loving me enough to be completely authentic with everyone. I would change me for other people. For example, I would be talking to someone who did not like something that I liked, and I would downplay my love for that thing in this conversation in order to create more of a cohesive conversation, right? I would lie to my past girlfriends about things that I did under the illusion, I'm doing it for you. I don't want to make you upset, right? I would lie to my mom at times about where I was or what I was doing. Ultimately, I was lying about me. I wasn't expressing who I was and what I felt. I wasn't expressing me with the world and with everyone because I didn't think I would be accepted. And sometimes I was doing things that I didn't even really want to be doing. And so to share them with someone else was very difficult. Once I started to really love me and start to observe myself more and understand myself more and understand my worth, authenticity became second nature. Even the times where I would subconsciously be dishonest about something, as soon as I would become aware of it, I would bring authenticity into the situation. For example, let's say I was talking to someone and a subconscious pattern came into play or a program came into play where they said something and then I kind of like tried to match them, just like that example I gave you before. Well, as soon as that was realized, I would be authentic and say, actually, that's not how I feel. How I truly feel is so on and so forth. And I would allow my authentic self to speak into that space. And what I noticed was I created and attracted a world around me that knows me and loves me and accepts me. They don't have to understand me. And they even don't have to accept me or love me. But that filters everything out and through. And it's a beautiful, infinite cycle of things cycling through. People will stay that can handle your authentic self, and people won't, and that is not of your making. If you desire to create a world that knows you, and if you desire to be yourself, then authenticity is the only way. A cool example that challenged me later on in life as I started to truly understand myself and be my authentic self was like moments of joy that required dishonesty, right? For example, this was a specific one. So I travel a lot. And I love surprising people, right? Like showing up on their doorstep without them knowing. I mean, there's so much love and joy in that, right? But if they were to call me like 2 days before and I know I'm going to their place and they're like, hey, what are you doing in the next week? I would not be able to surprise them if I didn't say, oh, I'm not sure. I'm doing this, that, and the other, and wasn't completely honest with them about where I was going and what I was doing. Right? And so this was a conflict at times because I'm like, wow, like this feels so good to surprise this person. It's coming from such a loving place, but yet I can't do this thing because it's dishonest. And so where I settled within myself was the realization that, where are you coming from? Because it's not about what you're saying or what you're doing, but where are you coming from when you express these things, right? And so knowing that I'm coming from love and joy, I have no problem in saying, hey man, I'm not sure where I'm going to be, and then showing up on your doorstep 2 days later. I understand my intention. I know where it's coming from. I've observed myself enough to come from that place and know. And it feels really good. There's a big difference between that and what we spoke about, because that does not feel good. No, it does not. And so I invite you to start to observe yourself more, get to know yourself more, and express your authentic self, and work through the fear that you are faced with when some people don't accept who you are and what you think and what you believe. That is okay. That does not mean that you are not worthy. It does not mean that your beliefs are not valid. It doesn't mean that you are not valid. They are just sharing their perspective as you are sharing yours. The only difference is that some people think that their perspective is the only perspective. Your authentic self is worthy. I invite you to start expressing it and noticing when you are being inauthentic in moments and purifying those experiences. Infinite love to you all.